Hi, good afternoon. This is Venmo Rahmaan, author and founder of the Child Support Hustle. I hope you're doing well this afternoon. I'm doing outstanding. I want to first just say I want to give a shout out to Seton Hospitals. I had a very humbling experience, almost died last week, and the staff over at the hospital did a great job. Obviously, here I am, and I want to say to anybody and everybody that decides to watch this video that life is short. Uh, if you are beefing with somebody, or you got something on your chest and you're not talking to your people or whatever, life is very short. And if you have the chance, the time to make amends, please um, do it. Do it, because like UGK said, you're here one day and the next you're gone. Um, and I'm no firsthand, I experienced that. And thank you, God. He gave me another chance. I guess he was going to take me and had a second thought and said, maybe she's not ready. Maybe I'm not ready to take her yet. Let me give her another chance to finish her work. So here I am doing my thing. And my thing, oh, shout out to Abby. If she ever watches this, if she doesn't, my angel. Thank you, Abby. So I'm going to jump right into this video. As you can see with the title, you are the father 10 years after the fact. So as God reaches out to me and he had some questions, and you guys know I don't work on individual cases anymore, but I asked him, could I talk about his situation, because it was just so messed up how they do men, period, in situations like this, especially. So on November of this year, this man, Michael Scott, he received a summons of paternity, the service within New York State. The notice was for him to appear. So just imagine, let me set the scene. You are living your life, just chilling. You go to your mailbox, get a letter from New York State, and you notice a name on there and they're saying a baby, but you don't even recognize the name. And as you're reading the document, it's from somebody that you boned like 10 years ago. You never even called her back for whatever reason. But all of a sudden, she's reaching out to you, not a phone call, not a letter, not an email, not a Facebook. She's coming through court 10 years after the fact, saying that you got a baby with her, a child with her, and now she wants you to pay her child support. So after that shock, he opens the letter, and lo and behold, this is what the letter says, the notice. This is a court document. And the man doesn't even know anything about this. So he's, got a family, he even sold his wild oats. He's got a family, he's chilling, doing his thing. In bold font on this notice, it says, your failure to appear has, he's being sued, all the jargon. Your failure to appear in person or virtually shall result in an entry of an order of filiation on default upon proof that you received actual notice of the commencement of this proceeding. Your failure to appear may also result in a warrant for your arrest and suspension of your driving privileges. State-issued professional, occupational, businesses, recreational, sporting licenses and permits will be suspended. Let's stop right there. An order of affiliation, according to New York.gov, is a court order that names a man as a father of a child and gives him the right to custody of the child, the right to visitation with the child, and the responsibility of paying child support. But this man does not know anything about this child. So he doesn't want to order affiliation. At least send him a picture and see if the child looks like his other kids. They don't even give him that. They're just, bam, if you don't come here on this date, we're going to suspend your licenses, all of them. And we're going to put a warrant out for your arrest for having sex with a woman 10 years ago. How is that remotely fair? How is that remotely constitutional to threaten somebody, a man, for having sex and possibly, or possibly even having sex with her? Just because she said that she had sex with him doesn't mean that it's true. So he's, he was panicking. I was about to say, I'm sure he was panicking. He told me he was panicking, like, what the hell was it? What? Yeah, I kind of remember her. So if he doesn't show up, like the letter says, he's facing all these punishments off the rip. No phone call. They redact all that information. So he can't just call her like, hey, can we talk about this? Can you bring the kid to me? Can we do our own DNA test? Anything. He could be a stand-up guy. He could be anything. Why does he have to be dragged in and sued and go through the state if this is his child? He has zero rights. But he's being threatened like a common criminal. The summons continues with the court information about where, when, and he has to show cause why he shouldn't come in there. So now he's on trial. He has to produce all this information off of a woman claiming that he's the baby's father. A claim. 10 years is a long time. We don't know. He doesn't know her mental history, her sexual history, her is she on drugs? Was anything about her history to where he should have to produce anything to do with his life because this woman said so? Nothing. She could have saw him on Facebook. She could have saw him. She could have worked with him in a build. She could have pulled his name out of the fucking air. And because she went in there and gave his name and said, that's the father of my child, he has to go through this shit, possibly hire a lawyer to defend himself because she said so. So, okay. Mr. Scott is being demanded to show cause. Why should he have to show? Okay, I might have just said that. The mother should be asking him if he wouldn't mind doing a favor for her and submitting to a DNA test. Because for whatever reason, and I'm not passing judgment on anything, she didn't get in contact with him for over a decade. Anything could have happened. She might have been ill. She might have been in prison. We don't know. But the courteous thing, the responsible thing to do after 10 years is to reach out to him and say, look, we got this baby and this child. I'm sorry I didn't reach out to you, but, can we take a DNA test? But hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. After these years, she needs financial help with the child for whatever reason. So she needs to submit the DNA test for support because guess what? She applies for welfare. So, oh, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. So we know when you apply for welfare, the government automatically makes a woman sue for child support. So automatically, she put a name down, he's all of a sudden the target. So New York and any other jurisdiction wants to know why Mr. Scott has a declaration of affiliation, or order of support, and other or further relief requested should not be made against him at the time of the court hearing. So he has to go in front of them to find, and he has to tell them why all of these things should not go against him. All already on trial off a name. It's been 10 years and he has a life that did not include this child that he knew nothing about. And like I said, the welfare system is going to mandate that he be sued for benefits that are already paid for. Don't forget, these benefits have already been paid for 3 times. So really, there's no reason for this mother to even pursue the alleged father or presumed father for any benefits. But that's another video for another time. And I'll go back and put it in the links if you're interested. So here's a couple interesting points that I found that were listed in the summons. So the summons listed the petitioner allegedly, this is what the summons said. The petitioner allegedly had sexual intercourse with Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott should easily be able to deny ever knowing her or having sex with her, but that the document said that she had sex with him. What the fuck? She could say she had sex with Robert De Niro. They're gonna sue him. It just is mind blowing. You're just going by somebody. Somebody could walk off the street from the mental health hospital and name anybody, and they're going to come after them like they're coming after Mr. Scott off of welfare benefits, off of the strength that they want Title 4D money back. So there should be enough evidence to stop the case from moving forward. On that alone, they should have never even contacted this man. It should go like 10 years. Like, do you have any other evidence that would support us going after this man and disrupting his life besides you claiming that you had sex with him 10 years ago? No. The summons states that Mr. Scott is the father of the child. They automatically made him the father. They're just guaranteeing that he's not going to show up, and they're going to put a default judgment against him. The summons prays that the court issues a warrant requiring Mr. Scott to furnish support and pay retroactive support. So when he doesn't show up, that's what they're banking on, but Mr. Scott's going. They're banking on getting a default judgment against him, making him pay support, and then going back 10 years and making him pay all of that support. Now, since she's applying for welfare, guess who gets all that 10 years of support? Not her kid, not her. It goes to the government. So, Miss, 10 years later, you are the father, goes and applies and gets what? Whatever New York's welfare benefits are, Medicaid, goes and gets that for a couple months and maybe gets a job or whatever. Maybe she gets benefits for a year. What's that? Let's say $5,000, a couple years. Well, Mr. Scott owes $50,000. See how that adds up? It's a come up for them. So I wanted to make this video to point out the railroading that happens on the mere say-so of a woman, a mother, of just going into that system. They want men indebted to the government so desperately that all a woman has to do, all a mother has to do is say that she has sex with a man. And from that sexual encounter, a child was produced. And these are the summons. They sue them with nothing else on the books. There's no other proof. They don't ask for no video surveillance. Can I get some emails? Can anything? All she did was said, I had sex with him. 10 years? Can you imagine his wife, their children, and they're going to take money out of his household? Say he didn't respond to this, and he like, I don't know, Meg the Stallion, I don't know who that is, and throws the shit away, and they get a default judgment against him. That's going to take food out of his household and his out of his children's mouth because she said so. So the default judgment, a lot of people think that that men are on child support because they don't take care of their children. And that's just the problem. No. Default judgments are serious business for the government. They make big money, especially back in the, like, after the whole thing started back in like the early 2000s, all the way up until now. The default judgments, if Mr. Scott hadn't responded to the summons, they rubber stamp default judgments. So all those punishments that they said, the warrants, the suspending licenses, all that stuff, that's how, and the retroactive support, that's how all that money gets owed. That's how all those punishments get enforced, and the cycle continues. That's why all that, like, billions of dollars of debt that they say that child support is owed, when they put those reports out, it's all this billions. This is retroactive, a lot based on these default judgments, because these men don't get these reports because some lady walked in to a child support agency and said she had sex with some dude and they sued them. Real shit. So that, and a lot of times it results in paternity fraud. I have several videos talking about paternity fraud. Shout out Carnell Alexander out of Detroit, Michigan. Y'all see me stomp with him a lot. I worked on his case, landmark case. Check it out. I got video. I'll put a link up. But paternity fraud is a major issue, and this is how that shit starts right here. So they're on the hook for tens of thousands of dollars off of, a lot of times, kids that's not even theirs. And by the time they find out, when they get stopped and their licenses are suspended, and these men are like, what are you talking about? They go to court because they find out there's a child support hold on them, a warrant for a kid, a case they didn't even know about, and it's too late because there's a statute of limitations to rescind paternity. So yeah, they're legally fathers based on these bullshit allegations of Miss Sue from you know who walking in and saying Michael Scott's my baby dad. So regardless whether the child is his or not, if the mother does not apply for the welfare benefits, she should not be forced to name the father of the child. If you're on some hard times or whatever, and you need to go in and get some food stamps or anything to help you out, you shouldn't have to go through your whole sexual history just to get a couple dollars to help you out. Because what welfare used to be is not what welfare is now. You have to work for benefits. So they shouldn't be able to interrogate you, and I don't know if this is the case with this mother, but force you to pull a name out of the air just to get some help. We pay a lot of taxes, and there's a lot of money sitting in state rainy day funds. Tennessee had almost $1 billion sitting there. They're just now starting to spend it. I did a video on that. So if a mother or a low-income family needs some help during especially a COVID time while we're recovering, they should be able to get that. That was a side note. So after any significant amount of time, wait a minute, let me make sure. Okay. So Mr. Scott should not be bamboozled and bullied into court without any any mention of his rights. Only rights they said is rights to him having custody. They didn't say anything about he can bring a lawyer. They didn't say anything about he has a right to appeal. They said nothing about that. They just said if your ass is not here, damn it, you're going to fucking jail. We're going to suspend your life. Basically, we're going to fuck your life up if you don't bring your ass down here because she said you had a baby with her. And just picture if you just sitting there chilling, doing your thing. Now I'm talking to the women too. If somebody just out the blue put your name on some shit and you got a letter like that because somebody said so. That's not right. So after any significant amount of time, it is tantamount to indentured servitude to summons a man to court and then sentence him to 18 to 21 years plus in monthly payments with the amount set by the court and punishment up to and including imprisonment when payments are missed. Late fees, licenses are suspended, licenses to sustain a livelihood, suspended passports that guarantee travel abroad are revoked, and property are all under the government's jurisdiction until the order is lifted. All because somebody put your name down and you had sex with them, allegedly. Mr. Scott did one thing to deserve this prison outside of the cell, because probation, parole is just prison outside of the bars, which is going to affect his life from something he did 10 years ago, and that's have sex. Allegedly. He might not even but they don't know that. I'm saying they don't know that. All he did was have sex. So how is that fair? And then people that say, well, he should have kept it in his pants. We all know with the overturn of Roe, that's not a fair argument, because the return to that argument or the rebuttal is with the abortion argument, well, she should have kept it in her pants too. Everybody keep it in their damn pants. So you can't say men need to keep it in their pants if they don't want no kid. Women need to keep it in their pants too. So that's my video. I thought that was fucking ridiculous that 10 years later, a lady can just put your name down and you get a notice like this. And if you don't get your ass there, they're going to destroy your whole life. In 2022, they need better procedures for this. And I hope, I hope that I'm gonna let him know that I made this video. He asked me to let him know. So I'll do a follow-up if you guys want to let you guys know what happened. I'm anxious to know what happened because this is some bullshit. Even if it comes to be his child, he should not have to be on papers, meaning have a court-ordered child support through the state off a 10-year-old child that he knew nothing about. Because once it goes through the state, it's all these punishments and stuff. He should be able to run this the way he wants to. When I say run this, he should be able to pay what he wants. Everything should be under his terms. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the comments. I thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I thank you guys for visiting my website, for visiting me here, for subscribing. I appreciate it. If you want to get my book, The Child Support Hustle, it's available on my website. I try to figure out how to do it on here, but I can't figure it out. There is no due justice. They just threw that shit out the window. When it comes to child support, they threw it out the window. And slowly but surely, they're reining it back in, because pretty much the whole thing has been exposed. The whole child support hustle has been exposed. And there's so many people talking about it. The problem is, in my opinion, no, I ain't gonna say in my opinion, as a expert in this field, there's so much information out here that people that are seeking to find out how to navigate are having trouble figuring out what is reliable, what is not. And people are advertising, you can get your whole case thrown away for X amount of dollars, and then they find out it doesn't work. So it's the information, the field or whatever has become muddled with a bunch of bullshit. So it's hard to find out where the real information is. So, and I'll always go back to, you fight them with their shit. Because when you break it down to what the guidelines are, like for instance, you have to be willfully failing to pay child support. Just that right there says that nobody should have any punishment executed against them if they don't have the money to pay. You have to willfully, and that means I'm sitting on $200,000 in a yacht and I have a child support order and I'm not paying shit. That's willful. That's when they can come after you. That's what that is designed for. You are wealthy, you have money, you eat, and your children are living in squalor. That's what that is. It's not, I'm sitting up here homeless and you're arresting me and there's nothing I can do. That's not how the system is supposed to go. But just like anything, they took it and ran with it. Anything to get money, they just start making money off of this shit. Let me see. I'm glad you caught it, Locksmith. Welcome. Yeah, just find out, like, research. There's a lot of good information out here, but just I really beg people to do your research. You know, I'm big on research. Do your due diligence. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. But just do your research. Find 3 resources, and yeah. But just sift through the shit. Sometimes just because they say you have to do this, do it ABC, doesn't mean you have to do it. Find out what your rights are and fight for your rights, because really nobody else is going to do it. They want everybody to stand in line, dress right, and do, exactly what they say. Well, no, especially when your liberty is at stake, your children are at stake, your money, how you live is at stake. No. Yes, it's your life. Tommy Pearson, I can't see what you're saying. Why? What does that have to? You would rather be alone? I don't know what that means. Oh, well, I guess there's a lot of reasons why people don't want to be in relationships or whatever like that. I don't know. Um, that's not what, that's not what I talk about. I talk about child support. Um, I'm gonna do my first video. Y'all know I'm writing a book about welfare and whether it destroyed the whether it is the welfare state and whether it destroyed the Black family. Of course, I say no, and I'm proving my argument or supporting my proving my argument in my book. So I'm gonna start doing videos about that and mixing that in with my child support videos. So because it's all, welfare recovery, child support is a welfare recovery program. So it's all intertwined. So let me know what you guys think about that. Hopefully not too many people will leave, but we'll see. I want to see what everybody else thinks and feels and get some background. I mean, get some comments and if it's something that's widely shared, I'll include it in my book after I research it. Let me see. It's a whole manosphere about this subject about keeping the family intact. Right. Yeah, I know the keeping the family intact, but there's so many definitions of what a family is. You know, there's the nuclear family, the traditional family, but that's based on whose definition, you know, whose definition and where did that originate from? Because one person's definition of a family is not everybody's definition of a family. Some people don't have the luxury of having mom, dad, and the children because people die. People go to prison. Innocent people have sat in prison for life and have been executed, innocent people. So if that mom is raising the kids, that's not a family. So there's a lot of, just because Mr. X says that this is the way a family is supposed to be doesn't mean that that is necessarily true. Yeah, there's a problem with that. There is a problem with that, but a misconception with the welfare system, what it is now, a woman or a mother cannot just get welfare and not work. When that system was reformed, like you have to do something in order to get the benefits. You have to work or you have to be in school or you have to do something, and there's time limits. Like you can't, it's not like a lifetime uh never ending benefit or anything like that. Like I think 5 years, I don't know if they've updated it, but 5 years is pretty much universal. Some states it's 24 months. So you can't just be on the system for life and you can't just receive benefits and not work. There's a lot of information that's put out and floated around that's just not, it's just not true. So I'm going to get on out of here. I'm going to go walk my dog and enjoy the rest of my day. I've been out of the hospital for a week yesterday. So getting my strength back and feeling better every day. If you are beefing with your loved one, like I said at the beginning of this video, and the relationship is worth saving, give them a call and try to mend it. Tomorrow is not promised. Thank y'all again. Don't forget, subscribe, share, like, subscribe, share, like, all that good stuff. Don't forget, you want my book, The Child Support Hustle? It's at thechild-support-hustle.com. I have articles there. What else is there? Articles. That's pretty much it. And you can buy my book. I don't think I'm going to add anything right now, but I'm going to start writing more articles about what my book is about, and then I'll start uploading them on there too. So thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all next time. Until then, fight the power.